with the sign, the alien one. Can you see this one? Wait.
Oh man.
And
that's
we're live.
awesome.
You see it?
That looks
This alien.
That looks fucking awesome. Nice.
Yeah. This is Barry with alien sign. Yeah, I made it right now, so this skin is fine. Yeah.
You're almost there. You're gonna have to take some pictures to send to the photo.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. Right.
Fuck yeah. You've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy, yeah. And I made this girl, you know the girl, I know the girl, Dana.
You mean this one?
Yeah, Dana.
Moa?
No,
Oh.
Moa. The other one, this one.
Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty. This is Scotty.
Scotty looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, this is Scotty. Yeah.
Can't clone her though at the moment.
Yeah. And I have Bitman, and I have this one. You know that guy with long beard and long hair? You know from your YouTube.
Hello, Mathematic.
This one.
Hello.
I don't know his name.
And Ducky.
He has long
Hello,
hair.
Ducky.
Hello again.
Nice to always see you.
Huncho.
Yeah, Huncho. This is Huncho.
Nice.
Hello, Anton.
Yeah,
Again.
Huncho.
How come he's so big?
Hi, Tom. Oh, nice avatar, Tom.
Hey, how's it going, Matty?
Hello. Hi, Matt.
I'm doing okay.
Stella.
Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Hi, Bitman. Nice to see you. Hi, Killer.
Okay, that was I made. So
Hello,
I
Matic.
made BBC
Hello.
as you see. So that's
It's
the one.
fucking humongous.
Yeah,
How
this
come
is
it's
the
so
Bitman
big?
one. Because this one is tiny. Like this girl is tiny because that girl. I guess.
Yeah,
So-
there's the other bit, man. It was much smaller, but
Yeah.
that's cool.
Barry. Now we're Barry and we're shot guy how to kill Bitman, another one. So that's good.
Far
Yeah.
out. I love the tattoos on this one.
Yeah, the girl, the Moa girl, the Moa cat Moa.
Hello,
Yeah, they
Silva.
got these
Okay.
tattoos on her arms. It's
Nice
cool.
to see you.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. So
Oh, no.
let's see. Let's probably put on the normal one for the meeting.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I make a new world, a new Cryptopia with bigger and better, big scene and. the
And
scene
hello,
everything.
Tim, in the chat.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
is
was
that
there.
the one? That,
Welcome.
I went there the other day. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
fucking
You like
hu-
it?
it's
Yeah.
humongous, man.
Awesome,
Humongous. Nice
awesome.
work. Nice work.
Thank
You
thank
rock.
you. It took me 3 days to work in that one. Crazy. Shit.
Yeah, no, you've
3 days.
definitely. I'm like
And now
trying to find the
3 days.
trying to find the emoji thing here.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
I'm home.
Let
There we
who
are.
came now?
Wow,
That was
here. Hello.
Rosafakt.
Hi.
Rose effect.
And a backflip for good
Oh.
measure.
Hello, Rosafakt.
Hello, Rose.
Welcome.
This is crazy. Now, I can't wait to get the new scene. I have a new script now, and download the script you send me, so I can acting.
Good to see you again.
Again.
Yeah. It's
Hey,
gonna be
hello.
an epic scene if we can pull it off,
Yeah.
man.
All good?
Like
Yeah. So now
we've had a lot of new people come into the chat, so we'll see if it works
Hey, how
out.
good to see you.
That's crazy. Yeah. I like the episode that you make in YouTube. I saw episode 11 on
Nice.
Sponsor.
Okay,
Can
you're
I-
here
I
too.
can see my avatars in your videos and my name. Thank you for CZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's funny.
Yeah, Ducky is really a regular. He's
That's
been here almost every meeting, and Silver as well.
Yeah.
Got it.
I like
It's
when
cool.
you
Gotta keep a
them.
public record.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
So
they're
they're
always
just
here.
walking in a square and they're going down and next coming Tomoa.
I noticed that.
That's kind of funny.
Let's see how many we.
They're changing, yeah.
Okay, we are
That's funny.
3.
You like it, yeah.
Wait until you see the.
We are going to talk about donations in the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
Once again, sorry.
Pretty well, actually.
Awesome. I can't
Yeah, we are going to talk about
We're almost there.
donations on the Rotary Club.
Today it's actually Anton Keller, username
Yeah,
Killer Keller
maybe
here in
5
VR chat, who
5%
is
or something.
gonna do like an ego talk, talk about his life, and I guess he's gonna talk a bit about his company and what he's doing now. It was supposed to be last week,
okay.
but there was some other stuff that happened last week, so he couldn't do it at that time. And next week, I think it's the Star Wars theme. I think it's Where did he go? Yeah, Matik is gonna talk about Star Wars next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yes.
interesting.
And yeah, there you are. There you are.
You're a big Star Wars fan, also fact?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I'm a little fan of Star Wars.
That's crazy.
What movies do you watch? Do you watch any series of Star Wars, or which movies is your favorite?
Oh,
I think you have some.
oh yeah. I have watched, I don't know,
Look at this.
from the very start, like Star Wars, the Clone Wars series from 2003 or 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, you remember that?
The
It's a very-
old one. You watched the old one. Oh
Semolinos.
my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
Hello, Shina. Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Oh, very well. So you can only make one avatar with this, and then you have to pay if you like to make several?
No, you can make any number. What I've seen.
Basically everything, but yeah, if you
I just
Okay, because I tried to make a few more, but they did not show up in this
I'll
other
talk about Star
category.
Wars, I think
But
next
let's
week,
try again.
Since someone else
Yeah,
is
when-
gonna talk today, I think.
you have to click the upload button again
it is gonna talk about
when
this,
you have
like-
made the changes, and then it takes about 10-15 minutes before it
but yeah,
gets
I can't
visible
wait
in
to
your
talk about Star Wars next week.
avatar
Yeah.
list.
I think I did like that,
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
but maybe not.
I have 3
Yeah,
now,
I
I
agree.
think. A bit different versions.
Of yourself.
Yes, but this is the one I will use for now. Let me see. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's the... Looks... I don't know.
Is it on Tuesday we're gonna make the new scene?
Good enough.
I feel like I'm 18 again.
Yes. But it's a very... I mean, it's... I like the way they capture some...
I'm kind of curious.
I mean, I can directly see that it's you. I mean,
At least 30 people.
Yeah.
it really catches some of the
That's gonna be good, I guess.
basic things.
Yeah, if we can pull it off.
Yeah, I wanted to make one with almost no hair and bigger beard that I have sometimes.
I'm just gonna
Ah.
grab a beer. I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, you give it a try again and try to upload it. It should work.
Yeah,
You
I
can-
will.
Hi,
Send
Robert.
some screenshots if you have
Hello,
any
Matic.
issues. We can try to assist you.
Nice to
Are
see
you
you.
secret today, or can I watch you if I do something?
Huh? If I'm what?
I cannot see you.
Maybe it's not
You can't see me?
I have to
Quest
Hello.
Quest compatible, or?
No, I can see you. Oh,
Ah.
he's okay now.
Okay, settings.
Alright.
I only had to click
It's via chat.
show avatar.
It's that happens sometimes. Yeah, it happens sometimes. It's via chat. Being stupid.
Okay, so now I realize we are in a totally public world, so we will get some visitors today. Probably. Welcome, Clown Darden.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
we can
hello.
see that.
That's actually son. You look awesome. You look awesome, man. I like
Yeah.
it. Good job. Just
Perfect.
this
I will do
really good.
more.
We are. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Was that your son or daughter? You make your son and daughter? I write something in Discord.
Yeah,
Hi, Matthew.
I did,
Wow.
Hello, Suni.
but I think I didn't manage to save her properly. Let's see. I'll try again.
Really?
Okay.
Nice.
What do you
This is
think?
you, but
Should
we are- that's
we
awesome, man.
get started? We are
Thanks.
10 people now, I
Yes,
think, or
yes, good.
something like that. 12.
Yeah,
Let's get
let's
started.
go and have a seat. Yeah.
Yes, Anton and
Here is
also
Tom.
fact
Hello,
already
Tom.
here.
Tom and Bitman.
Silver, are you ready? And Ducky Duckson?
Ducky Jackson.
We don't have Loki today, and
Loki, no.
Nichols is not here either, so I guess I'll try to just go through the standard things, and then we'll let Killer Keller do his thing.
He really looked like a killer today.
Killer. Is a killer? Really? A serial killer? No.
Let's hope not. Let's see,
No, you're
where's the agenda thing? Okay, so we, as you know, yeah, we have to take the presents, of course. I can actually do that while Anton is talking later on. I can write it down.
Yeah.
So let's go
I think we
directly.
should do Anton.
Let's go directly to the improvements and suggestions.
Yeah.
So in the Discord we have the whole list
It's
of
longer than yours.
previous.
Maybe not anymore.
Hey, Robert and CC. Shut the fuck up. No,
Sorry.
That's fine. So we have the whole list of previous suggestions in the list on Discord. Do we have any additional things to add this week? Anyone have any suggestions what we should add or change? Matik?
Not that I have in mind of.
I have a question, Linus.
Yeah.
How are things looking with the avatars?
I'm gonna make a new one.
Right now everyone can do their own using the... Yeah. What is the function called? It is in the...
Ready Avatar? ReadyAvatarMe.com.
Yeah, ReadyAvatarMe something.
The link in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the link in Discord and it's very simple.
I made myself my own avatar in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You can do it on your smartphone. That's better, I guess, or from your PC.
So check on the Discord channel, the text channel called Avatar, and if you have any issues, just ask anyone in the Rotary.click Discord, and we can assist you. So I would maybe add that as a suggestion that everyone actually, as many as possible at least, try to use this function to make avatars that actually looks human. I will type that in.
Instead of stapler.
Stapler? Is my keyboard?
So you're looking like a stapler, Keller?
No. He's looking like the normal Killer Keller, right?
Yeah, but the mouth looks like a stapler, isn't it?
Actually, I think I do have an avatar for Anton, I think.
Yeah.
Let me check.
CC, how do we lock the avatars so no one can steal the one that look like me?
No one can look like you. Using your own photo, so no one can take your photo.
Okay, this is only for PC.
Not possible, I guess.
But this one you can copy if you like.
Yes, I can copy that if I like it. I don't
you can copy this one if you like, Anton.
In real life and your avatar, so no.
But it's only on PC.
Okay, so
is that not how I look right now?
So put your menu up.
Yeah.
It's similar. Maybe it's the one. Yeah. Stay with the one you have then.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And when on other settings, there is other options category, and there's one little check mark called allow avatar cloning. Is that on? Is there a check on it?
Oh yeah, that's
it was not anymore.
Yeah, not
anymore. Now I can't clone your avatar.
Perfect. Thank you much.
Yeah, now it's off. That's
perfect.
Yes.
Because it's good to have cloning off when it is the one looking like ourselves.
Yes,
that's true.
Right.
I'm gonna change that as well. It's a good thing. Allow.
Linus.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We have done these ego talks. I think it would be a good idea to have other kinds of talks. So, for example, if we have an idea about a project, about a business idea, or something like that, we can present it in this group and get comments and discuss it.
That's a good
I
idea.
think that would be a different kind of talk that would be very, very interesting for us to have.
Yeah, I agree. And we actually, last week also was a very interesting meeting, even though we didn't have any speaker, because we got a chance to actually discuss like what we want to do and how Rotary works and other things. So I agree, we shouldn't only have ego talks. It has been a lot of ego talks recently, but it's because we're a new club, so everyone should get a chance to talk about themselves, but I mean, in the end, we're only gonna have other kind of presentations or talks. So should I add something like a improvement or suggestion? How should I?
Yeah, I think so. It can be to present the business idea. It can be to present a project idea, but it can also be that you get an idea that you like to take your own life in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And then you can, if you like to discuss it, you can present your idea here.
Yeah.
And then you can get some input.
I agree.
And also I think that it would be very interesting to kind of present ideas to people that are very experienced in making new ideas, like how you call them in Swedish. You call them entreprenörer. But
you can use the same word in English.
Entrepreneurs, I think, right?
Entrepreneurs, yes.
And they could give us good feedback on how to make interesting ideas, because we could make good ideas, but we could even make better if we knew how to make them better, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, that would be interesting.
Perfect.
Hey Matic, I'm sorry, I didn't have any time to make your Star Wars thing because I was working with Tom Peter with the new Cryptopia model, so I was so busy.
Oh, don't worry, Cine. Don't worry, Cine. Don't worry.
Thank you.
It's
so
alright.
much. Yeah, I just remind myself about that Star Wars, so yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Cine.
I have my mind though. Yeah.
You're a bit, man.
So. Yeah, thank you so much. We can take it in the future, maybe, if you're okay for
It
you.
looks like Bitman has one extra Neo in
I
it.
have not forgot you. I remember you.
No,
yeah,
I know, Cine. I know, Cine. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so any more suggestions and
Someone
improvements?
was angry with him.
Robert, did you have any more?
It's one of my friends. I brought a friend today, Robert. Alex, his name is.
Hi, Alex.
It's like being in kindergarten trying to keep everyone quiet here.
I don't take a picture
So,
of you.
CC, do you have any suggestion or improvement, or are you just taking photos?
Yeah, taking photos for the Rotary Club screenshots.
That's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect. Okay,
Yes,
otherwise
that's
let's
my
go
job.
ahead for planning the upcoming meetings. So next week, Matik, you are doing something with Star Wars, right?
Star Wars, yes. I will present Star Wars, different categories about Star Wars, since I'm a big Star Wars nerd.
Perfect. And as you mentioned last week, if anyone has a contribution for that, they can contact you on Discord, right?
Obviously, yes, obviously.
Yes.
I'm always open for in the DM. So if you have ideas or even if you would like to join, that would be I would really appreciate that. It's up to you. You don't have to, obviously. I was gonna ask you something, Linus. Is it okay if I come with a Star Wars themed avatar next week?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
It goes well. Maybe you can have it once your presentation starts. Is that okay?
Yes.
That's perfect. Then, should we already today prepare for the 20th of April? What kind of presentation we would like to have at that meeting? Any suggestions? We only have a plan for next week, and that is the Star Wars. So we need something for the week after.
I think we should try that, what Robert said, coming up with ideas. Since it's 2 weeks to that meeting, I think it's enough time to kind of come up with ideas on what to do and stuff like that. I think that would even, it would be perfect to fix that even now, unless someone else, I don't know if you're gonna do more ego talks, but that's a suggestion.
Yeah, so if no one has any suggestion already today, we wait for next week and we bring up the planning of upcoming meetings at that time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because in that case, we can... conclude today's...
If everything fail, I can do something with just 30 seconds advance.
That's good. We have a backup.
I have several things.
That's good.
Yeah.
We have a backup. For example, if you are sick next week, Matik, then Robert, you could jump in and do something about something. That's good. That's good. I'm just gonna write down the names of who are already here, but I think we can let Anton Keller start with his presentation. Meanwhile, I write down who is in the meeting. So, Anton, take a seat, or if you want to be in the middle, you decide. It's up to you. I'll take a seat somewhere here.
Thank you, Linus. I think I will be sitting down since I don't have the VR headset, so you won't be seeing me move anyway, so I will keep this sitting down. But before I begin my presentation, I would like for you all to save your objections and questions until the end, and I will make sure to answer them to the best of my potentials. Okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, the word sustainable in an environmental aspect means causing little or no damage to the environment and therefore able to continue for a long time. This is what I would like to dedicate this presentation to, as well as talking a bit about my work towards it. When I'm done, I believe you will have gained some perspective and insight that will help you leave the Earth a better place. But first of all, let me just tell you a bit about myself. I'm Anton, a 21-year-old entrepreneur from Sweden. During my wake hours, I work as the CEO at the sustainable creative agency Nude. Nude as in naked, but switch place on the E and D, so it's more pronounced nude. We work every day towards leaving the world a better place by growing the right businesses on the market to influence the great masses. Now, unfortunately, the world is heading towards a rather dark future when it comes to sustainability. Partly because there's an issue with the definition of the word. It could be interpreted in many different ways, and therefore many loopholes are created. People are taking advantage of it. You may go to the store and buy something with a mark saying sustainable, green, or something similar implicating that the product is indeed good for the environment. But in fact, the sustainable product is in most cases just as harmful. The only difference is that the sustainable one plants trees to make up for the net emissions they are throwing out. What a way to solve a problem, right? Imagine you're on a sinking boat. There's a giant hole in the ship, but instead of trying to fix the hole, you start shoveling out water. You shovel out as much water as you can, as fast as you can, and you shovel, but the hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And you will just have to shovel faster and faster until the hole is so big that you can simply not shovel fast enough, and the ship sinks. That's the actual solution some are suggesting, which put in perspective really shows how bad it is. It is not solving the problem, it is in fact just covering it up. Our mission here at Nude is to do our part in just that. Our mission, the 7 Billion March, is a movement towards a greater future, to create a better life for the entirety of the world, in one case or another is not and will never be a simple task. We call it a possible, impossible mission, sprung from the slogan Dare to Be. Nude's vision towards a more sustainable future in everyday life as well as on the market. A slogan representing one's inner selves to express who they really are and focusing on their inner happiness. Daring to be strong, bold, weak, and everything in between. Daring to show emotions and asking for help and daring to help one another. Daring entrepreneurs to take their companies to new levels and contributing towards a happier and more sustainable society. Daring to be the change we so desperately need. This 7 billion march is an oath to help our world reach new heights. To help our people crawl back from the depths of the standards and values of today's society. An oath to help those not as fortunate as ourselves, and an oath to always stay true to our values. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Nude strongly believes that companies affect our lives more than we think. Brands have become so much more than products and services. They are part of who we are and what we stand for. Therefore, we need herdsmen to follow. People who can set examples and inspire us towards a better future. We need the right companies with the right mindset and messaging to lead us. To lead us as well as other companies to walk their path and work towards a stronger and greater future, a sustainable future. We deserve it, but we must work for it. At Nude, this is our mission, and we work towards it every day. Finding the right companies and help them to climb the hierarchy and show their message to the world. Dedicating our marketing to inspire other people to express themselves and create change in our personal lives. Because for too long, we have all been digging a hole, burrowing and hiding our inner selves, scared of the truth, scared of the answers. It's time for us as a humanity to rise from the graves and take back what's rightfully ours. The pride of being who we really are and the pride of making Earth a sustainable Earth. Thank you.
Wow.
Good job. Interesting.
Perfect.
I have a question.
I just want to say something because climate change and stuff like that is a thing we work a lot with, especially in my school. Since it's we work with animals every day, and we work with just in general like the environment, and we focus on those things. And I think it's really, really good what you guys are doing at Node, since businesses do like affect the climate a lot, and I think it's very good. It's very good.
Thank you, Matik.
Yeah, dude.
I have a little question.
Yeah, CC?
Do you have any website for that node you can put in Discord so I can read more about this, and you can put it in the Rotary Discord?
Yeah, absolutely. I could send it on Discord and on Facebook.
Is it nued.com or .se or
Thank you.
nued.se?
Yeah, that's good to know, so we can read more about that from your work.
I'll put it in the stream as well.
Perfect, thank you. So any other questions or objections to anything I said, or just some maybe add-ons?
I have a question. You said that you try to make like companies be more, or try to get them be more sustainable to the environment. Have you like has Nude like worked with big companies, like for example, I'm thinking of like Coca-Cola, or like big companies that sell a lot of food just in general?
No, Nude as a unit or as a company, as a brand, is rather new. I have previously worked on a production company, or I myself run a production company called Boreal Films. But just 4 or 5 months ago, I started this company called Nude together with a business partner of mine. So we are very new to the market, but we have worked with some companies before. But now with this whole sustainable thing era, we're trying to land bigger projects and greater projects. So we're focusing a lot on not companies as such as Coca-Cola or those great companies, because they are very, very, very big, and the process of selling to a company like Coca-Cola is very complicated and takes up to 12 weeks landing one project.
Okay.
Which is a lot more time than we have. But we focus on working together with the medium-sized brands, because we believe that they could make the biggest difference.
Okay.
Killer.
Yeah, Robert?
Some weeks ago, we talked, and you told me about this company that were interested in hiring you, but you were worried that they would not fit as a customer, because with your, say, the company that you like to be and like to become, I think it is very important that you choose your customers carefully also. What happened with that company?
We chose not to speak to them anymore, or we spoke to them, but we chose not to be working with them. We set up much clearer guidelines on who we would like to be working with and who we don't want to be working with. But the whole discussion between who we want to work with and not was an interesting discussion, because we went back and forth between, do we want to help everyone being better, or do we want the companies that are good being better? So it's a question of how, what impact do you want to make? Do you want to make the greater impact, or do you want to make an impact on everything you can make an impact on? If you get my reasoning.
Yeah, I understand. For me, the most important thing would be what they are willing to do, how much they are willing to change.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's one of the harder things about working with these sort of clients, because companies in all areas, in all different topics and areas, and work towards and specifically these clients that we're working towards, that are clients, medium-sized clients, are usually a lot focused on creating earning money or creating a bigger company of some sort. They're not very focused on their branding itself, for example, and they're really not focused on anything other than just running a rather successful business and keep running the business slow and steady up. So it's more a money game for most companies that we work with, but we try to implement the sustainable thinking within them also. Any other questions?
I think also, a comment. I think it will be more and more important for all companies to care about these things. So if you don't care at all about it, I think customers, banks, investors, it will be a big disadvantage. If you can show that you take sustainable development and climate change seriously, I think it will be a very big advantage in many situations.
I absolutely agree.
Maybe many companies don't understand that yet.
Yes, I think a lot of companies are afraid of sustainability to affect their economy, which it could a bit, but not that much. Like there's so many pros on having a sustainable company, because you have to waste less money on other things that make the environment worse than it already is. So yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic, thinking about how the companies are reasoning, but the most common thing we stumble upon is just that the general CEO at a company has a mission to make the company more stable and take more risk-free, and also growing it, which in most cases is not sticking out from the rest of the companies and going your own path. For example, as in this time, would be a sustainable solution or a sustainable way of going. So what we need to do is to try to understand their reasoning and try to explain with logic that a sustainable way is more risk-free and thus indeed earn them more money in the final, in the long run.
Well, I see a problem kind of in the way that some companies might not have the ability to think that long ahead, that far ahead, because I mean the structure of how you run a company is to create profit for the shareholders, right? And in the short term, for example, a factory that use some kind of fossil fuel, or what do you call it, like a not renewable energy, as a part of their process, in the short term they will of course earn more money not converting to another way of production or another way of producing energy or electricity, or buying cheaper energy or whatever. But in the long run, it's just like you said, there is a risk. Every day you stay using old technology that wastes a lot of energy, or waste a lot of fossil fuel or anything like that. There is a risk that new regulation, new taxes, and also consumers are getting more and more aware, right? So at some point, consumers is gonna expect, for example, that milk is produced in a certain way, and it's no longer an option to have the good and the bad kind of milk. You expect every kind of milk to be the good one. So I think you're very right in time. I think your company and your business is just the right time for such a company. So I wish you really good luck, and I think I'm gonna have to talk to you after the meeting. We have some interesting things going on, and climate is really in the center of some of these companies that we are working with right now. So I'll definitely have a talk with you after the meeting, or whenever you have time, to see if we can do anything.
Sounds good. Any other questions? Yeah, Robert?
Yeah, one more comment. It is definitely coming more and more. Already in the region where we live, all municipalities in Örebro region and about half of the municipalities in Västmanland region, they buy all the things that they need in a sustainable way through a procurement center. So already today it is about 5 to 6 billion Swedish kronor every year that they spend, and they specify very carefully so they can buy it more sustainable.
Yeah.
We more or less every week we try to think of ways where buying things can be improved, and if the better ideas we get, we can have the whole Swedish government to buy things that way. Because that's how you should, if you are the government, that's how you can sort of make things change. Because we buy a lot.
Yeah.
And bigger companies, any company that themselves are certified as sustainable or climate friendly or something, they care very much about this.
Yeah, yeah.
So, can you help Rotary.click in any way? I mean, how is... because that's kind of the goal here, that everyone uses their own experience, knowledge, and profession and try to find a way to use it also in this kind of concept as Rotary.click.
Yeah,
so what can we do like as a club to make sure our brand?
I think first of all, what Robert said previously about the whole idea situation, where we just brief ideas on maybe different projects, etc., would be really great. And the complicated thing with sustainability is that the word sustainable, as I mentioned in the beginning, is a very fluid word and is interpreted in very different ways, in a lot of different ways. So the word sustainable today may mean staying at home, for example, which in this Rotary Club is perfect because everyone is doing this from their homes. They are reducing the impact on the traffic and other things usually involved with the traditional Rotary meetings, where you have the meeting on a certain in a specific place, so to speak. So well, my work with this is, as I mentioned, marketing and branding, growing companies' brands, which sometimes is maybe implicating some more sustainable thinking, but oftentimes it's just using what they are already doing and communicating it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Definitely does. And I think you, just like you said, it might be things that you're already doing, but you never really thought about it in the way that we're actually already doing something that is positive for the environment, or something that is sustainable or good in other ways. So it's good to actually see how we can use that. For example, on the website, we haven't really updated the website for a really long time. We should really try to put these positive things related to the way we meet, the way we do these meetings, and different ways that we are already doing good, and definitely find also how we can proceed, how we can do even better. What can we do to make even better sustainable system?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with Linus and you, Keller. It would be cool to make I mean, already, like you said, Linus, Rotary is doing already things that are like good for the climate, but it would be interesting to kind of make a project where we push this idea forth, you know, and like you said, and use the word sustainable in the right way, you know. So it's, yeah.
And
I believe something that we could be working on, Linus, to answer your question, is probably the sustainability part of the equality part of the word sustainable. So maybe not the environmental part, because Rotary is already pretty environmentally friendly, as previously mentioned. But what we could be working on, and a project that we, for example, could be doing or talk more about, is the equality side of the whole. Not Rotary Club, but the VR chat, for example, with the whole girl avatars being presented in a bad way, and or in a specific way, and the boy avatars being presented in a specific way. So those are things that could also be thought of to be a sustainable aspect that we could be working on. So depending on what you want to be working on, we could also be doing those sort of things.
yeah, that's a good point. It's not only about making nature and I mean try to minimize the climate change and so on. There are so many other aspects of sustainability that we need to care about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering if there's other people either that are here today or other people in our group that are like that could work on different areas. I don't know if what is your favorite area about environmental questions, or are there other areas within sustainability that you like to work with? Because I think we should have like different people to care about different.
That's
okay, yeah, equality and environmental questions.
Yeah, and the company nude is probably more towards our branding, at least, is more towards the equality part or the equality side of the word sustainable, since we believe it's that part that needs to be solved in order to solve the environmental aspect. Not necessarily in that order. They will of course both be worked on at the same time, but we believe that you as a human being, or me as a human being, need to be self-acceptant and acceptant towards other, in order to be able to accept the earth and the environmental part or aspect of the whole word.
I see.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, we kind of have an issue, right, in this Rotary Club that we are almost only men or male. There is almost no women in this club, and that's really sad. We have like four or five, I think, total, and today I think only silver, right? Yeah. So that is it's really difficult to know how to. I mean,
it would be interesting to have different members in terms of gender, because there are people in VR. Surprisingly, I met a few people that are transgender or that are non-binary or just girls in general, and it would be interesting to have like a more of a welcome different sex groups, obviously, because it would be interesting to see or hear how they see the world, because and how they feel in terms of their sexuality, because I know a very, how you call it, a very touchy subject for some, but yeah.
Yeah, we would need to have a lot of more, variety, or what to say?
Diversity.
Diversity, thank you.
Yeah, diversity, yeah.
That's the word I was looking for. But it's what I was trying to say is that it's difficult to know how to go around it. I mean, how to go about it. How to attract the people that we're missing. Like.
Yeah, I get your point. I think it's a mixture of probably acting towards finding those people, actively pursuing finding those people outside of this, outside of VRChat and outside of the Rotary world. But I also think it's a question of the Rotary brand that we're putting out right now, on Facebook and etc. And probably something we could be working on, as I mentioned, is the whole what do you call it? The vibe in this world and in this club, that we can always make it more welcoming and more acceptant and more including.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But how to do that if you're one of the majority that is already in the club, right? That's my point. It's how, like, we can try to make it more welcoming or like interesting, but we are not the ones that know how to do that, because we are the majority. We are the ones that are already here. So how to attract the people that are not here? That's kind of the issue. Robert and Tom.
Maybe we should ask the lady, the one lady that's here. Maybe she has some ideas.
I'm absolutely sure she does. Unfortunately, Silver Cherry is a mute, so we might get some more feedback through the Discord, maybe, or through other types of discussions. But
okay, I see. Be fantastic.
Yeah, it would surely.
I mean,
we can always ask. Yeah, that was what I'm about to say. We can also ask Nicole's, obviously.
Yeah.
I could ask some people from the outside that I know.
I understand what you're talking about is trying to attract more females to the group, more women.
Simply more diversity.
Yeah, diversity. So right now we're talking about women versus men, but there is also other age groups and so on.
This is an interesting subject, because we're in virtual reality right now, and I'm looking around, and this is quite a diverse bunch that I'm looking at here. So there is a separation from what we want to achieve in the real world by attracting real women, and then there is this diversification of ideas or cultures or opinions that we're capturing within this virtual world, right? I think there's a distinction to be made there, because I'm totally for encouraging more diversity out here in the real world. Whoever puts on the headset or connects into the Rotary Club. But I think we also need to appreciate what we've got right now, right here. Like, this is quite the spectacle. Like,
absolutely.
This is really, really quite a wonderful thing we've already achieved here.
You're absolutely right. Especially,
it's important to take a moment to just realize that as well, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't forget what we have already have accomplished. And last week we, I see you, Robert. I see you. Last week we concluded that we are so big difference in age, and that is something that Rotary in general do not have. So if you look at ordinary Rotary clubs, we are already a lot more diversified in age, and we are also a lot more diversified in location, because a Rotary club is usually always people from the same area, geographical area. And we are diversified because we are from different countries, different continents, and different age groups. We have people below 18, between 18 and 30. We have people between 30 and 50, and we have people older than 50. So, I mean, we are way more diversified already. You are right. But I still would like to have closer to 50-50 men and women. That would be...
Yeah, and this is a very Swedish. This is a very Swedish objective, as far as I understand it. It's a thing in Swedish corporate culture, right? Is to have this 50-50, or to at least strive towards that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's very
balance. Yeah,
it's probably very Swedish. You're right.
Well, it is, and other countries have studied Sweden, and there's been a number of reports made about the approach. And you know, at the end of the day, I think you can't force it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Exactly.
Be open-armed and welcoming as possible, and inviting as possible. But you know, people, regardless of their sex, generally tend to, you know, navigate towards what they are most familiar with.
I agree with you, Tom.
And I don't think changing the color of the logo or any of that kind of shit on Facebook is going to change that.
No.
I understand. I understand. But in my personal view, I think we should still try, because there's always, you know, there's, like you said, there's always gonna be people that are not gonna come, because obviously you can't force it. But I think we should still try, and in one of those ways we could try is to talk about different subjects that are popular with those groups, with girls or with transsexuals or whatever, and that could be, for example, like makeup or just anything.
Well, this is the problem.
That interests that group.
That's the problem. How to find it, because that is so stereotypes that we men would probably suggest. Like, yeah, let's do a presentation about makeup, and we'll get so many girls. And that's really not how it's going to work out.
It also suggests that some subjects are more the domain of men than women, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, you know, makeup's not the best example, but I think these ego talks, for example, they're just as accessible to women as men, to teenagers as to grandfathers, to Africans, to Mexicans. Like these are like people's stories, you know.
Yeah.
They're accessible regardless of your particular.
Robert, you have been waving your hands many times.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In our region here in Västmanland, a few years ago, the biggest city, Västerås, asked young people about their interests, and it was quite obvious that young women are more interested in sustainability, climate, a sustainable future than young men, compared to young men. Young men were more interested in computer games, so that's why we have them here. They were interested in muscles, sports, and they were interested in engines, or things with engines on. So if you like to work with sustainability, with sustainable development, I think it will help if we emphasize the sustainable development profile of the Rotary Club.
Yep.
But I don't think it will be enough because we might not reach them. But I think that's one important part of it.
Yeah.
And young women are extremely important if we are supposed to reach different kinds of sustainability and climate goals. And we talked a lot about sustainability. I don't know if everyone understand all the words. I worked as a sustainable development researcher for 10 years, and sustainability, that is sort of what we aim for, the goal. And it is not a fixed goal. It might change during the process of going there, while sustainable development is the process of lots of people together moving towards the goal. So that's an important distinction to understand.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and I think that's a great example of how you can make it accessible to, if you want to attract more women to the group, then you can emphasize these subjects that are still, accessible to both sexes. And it's true, we can easily slip into the stereotypes. Men are into engines, women are into makeup, etc., etc. But it doesn't help us get any closer to our objectives of making this group more, equal in regards to the sexes. It's almost as silly as thinking you'll attract more black people by playing reggae music or something. Yeah. It's very simple to fall into these stereotypes to try to make the group diversify itself. And Sweden is quite exceptional for such experiments, I think, in the world, from what I've observed anyway.
Yeah, I think we're all making very good points on this topic, and what we're talking about right now is simply target group analysis, which is a thing we do very much in marketing to make marketing work towards a specific target audience. For example, as we're talking about right now, women and etc. But I really like what Tom, I don't remember your real name, Tom, but I will just call you Tom for now. But I really like what Tom brought up and what Matik and Linus and Robert, what all of you brought up. But what Tom brought up is very important, that we do not try to just go on stereotypes, that we actually do the research behind what we actually want, and to know that we simply cannot force someone into going here, but to remember that we still need to be, as Matik said, still need to be proactive and not only reactive in how we work in the club, but I think we need to be more outward going and maybe inviting people, for example, that are of a very diverse bunch. And then if they wish to join or not, that's totally up to them. But I think we could do a much better job inviting and including people and working towards it more proactive rather than only reactive. But we still need both parts, of course.
Yeah.
I have two women that are interested to be a part of this, but they are my age, so I'm a little bit worried to let them in before we have sort of developed things a little bit longer. But already the last few weeks, a lot of things happened, so it is easier to be here with us.
Yeah, and I just want to add one more thing to what I previously said, and it's that it's also very important that we understand that women and men and no matter if you're a woman or a man or something in between or this or that, it doesn't really matter. In the end, we're all human beings and we're all different human beings, even if we're a man or a woman or whatever we want to call ourselves. We're all different, and we all work in different ways, and we all have different tools in life, if you will, that makes our mission a lot more harder or more important, if you were, in the sense of making it more accessible for everyone. So, for example, as Robert brought up, men maybe usually are more computer used, and maybe VR chat, I don't have any statistics on this, so take this with a grain of salt, but probably men are more on the on VR chat than women. So maybe we need to first introduce them to VR chat and then introduce them here, and helping them to give everyone the same what do you call it? The same opportunities by giving them different tools. Did anyone understand?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I understood.
Yeah, and perfect. I think part of the fun of VR chat is that you can have all these avatars and you can be whatever you want. The gender stuff kind of moves into the background.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the thing is, it's not the number of female. It's not the number of female avatars, right? That we are like. It's not like we want to have 50-50 female avatars and male avatars. That can be easily done. Half of us just change to a female avatar and we are done. But we actually want to have the input of the other gender. Well, I know there is more than two, but you get my point. Like
on the other side, on the other side of that is that's what we want, but what do they want?
But now, once again,
we want the women,
guys.
But what do they want?
Guys, Tom and Linus,
we have to understand them.
Once again, talking about men and women, I think it's very important that we are talking about human beings, because now we are once again generalizing very much. We're talking about men and we're talking about women and what women want and what men want, etc., etc. But we need to keep in mind that men and women can be thinking the exact same way. We need to be talking about human beings, because human beings function differently and they think differently, and all human beings are different. So there's a value in bringing on the diversity of every human being and getting everyone's input.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it sounds great, but we still have when you register a member in Rotary, there is only two options. Like you're either a man or a woman. That's the only two options you have when you register as a member of Rotary. And in the statistics of this club, it's just gonna say simple percentage, a chart, saying this many women, this many men. And if we have 2 women and 25 men, it's not gonna look good. Regardless if the men and women have the same thoughts or are like the men are more female in the way they act and vice versa. That doesn't matter. In the statistics, it's gonna simply show the number of men, the number of women, and right now it doesn't look good. So I hear what you say, but we have the problem of the old way of looking at it. It's just a matter of numbers and.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and I think what I meant was not that we should, because what I want to stress out is not the fact that we just look at the human beings. I really think what you're saying, Linus, is very important, that we have it 50-50 when it comes to both women and men, but I don't think we should be talking about how women are and how men are, because I think that's a very dangerous topic to be talking about.
Yep. But just like Robert mentioned about these two friends of yours that you wanted to introduce, we still have to do whatever we can. And that is somehow based on our stereotypes. Like, what do we think that we need to do before you are going to be comfortable inviting them to this world? So it still ends up with us trying to do the right thing to make potential new members feel more comfortable. And that is guessing right now, because I mean, that's all we can do, right? They have probably never been in a VR world. They have never been in such a in this kind of situation or this kind of group of people. So we try to guess what we can do to make them feel more comfortable and relaxed and feel like this is a interesting thing. Try to do presentations or invite speakers that have subjects that we think is interesting to everyone, not only women, but it shouldn't exclude women. So it should be interesting for all our members, regardless if you're women or men. But I mean, it's a difficult question, just like you said, especially in Sweden.
Yeah. CC, did you want to say anything?
The Instagram of Nude, who is the maker behind those nice photos? The makers. I saw the Instagram and the books.
Yeah, it's actually my co-owner who did those pictures.
I like those pictures. Very nice in Instagram and even Facebook.
Thank you, CC.
Wow, I just follow them. I clicked follow. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Follow them. Your company.
So I think today's presentation, Anton, it was very nice that it could continue to this discussion about how we can improve and what we can do and what we are already doing and so forth. So I'm very glad that you could stay around for that, because it has been, to me at least, very beneficial.
I think it's a very good presentation, a very interesting one nonetheless.
Thank you very much, Matik.
And then for next week, I mean, of course, like every week, stay around if you like. I'm just gonna end the stream and I'm gonna say thank you for this week, and next week we look forward for Matik and the presentation about Star Wars.
Yes.
So thank you for today. I'll run away and end the stream, and I'll come back after that and see who's still here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And hello, by the way, Russell. Welcome.
Hello.
Hope to see you next Tuesday as well.
Hello, Razzle.